And it's very divided. Like, some people believe it's a hoax, and some people believe that it's some fucking lost language, and some people think that it's glossolalia, like when someone talks in tongues, and that they just went into a fucking trance.
For centuries, the Voynich Manuscript, a mysterious book filled with indecipherable symbols and strange illustrations, has baffled scholars and codebreakers alike. But now, the mystery has finally been cracked, and AI has unlocked its secrets. So why is the truth more disturbing than anyone expected? Join us as we uncover the chilling details behind this ancient manuscript. The mysterious craft of an ancient book. The Voynich Manuscript is a mystery not only in its text but also in its construction. It is approximately the size of a present-day book and contains roughly 240 pages crafted from calfskin parchment that was carefully cut and folded. Scholars speculate that it may have originally contained more pages, possibly 272, but some were missing when it was discovered in 1912. The pages are organized into sections, but many have been mixed up over time, meaning they may not be in their original sequence. Tests conducted in 2009 revealed that the parchment was from the early 1400s. It was not recycled from older books, and it required around 14 or 15 complete calfskins to create. Even though the parchment has imperfections, it was meticulously crafted to appear neat and uniform. The thick leather cover is not the original one. It was added at a later time, and evidence of insect holes indicates that the book may have originally had a wooden cover. The pages of the book have unusual drawings and colorful charts on them. The text and outlines were created using a quill pen dipped in iron gall ink. This ink is made up of carbon, iron, sulfur, and other minerals, indicating that it was made with expertise. The vibrant paints, although applied in a slightly haphazard manner, were probably added at a later time. The color blue was made from crushed azurite, green from copper, and red-brown from red ochre. These paints were not expensive, but they gave the book an air of mystery and beauty. Despite using modern tools, the Voynich Manuscript is still considered one of the most intriguing books ever discovered, not just for its contents, but also for its mysterious origins. But how do you interpret a language no one understands? Let's explore the mystery of a script the world still could not read. The secret language no one can read. In 1912, a man named Wilfred Voynich found a strange book in an old Italian villa. This villa used to be owned by a Jesuit college, but the book did not look like anything he had seen before. The pages of the book were old and thick, with writing that no one could understand. There were also colorful drawings in the book, some of plants that were unfamiliar, some of stars and circles that did not match known astronomy. The most confusing drawings were of naked women bathing in green liquid, connected by pipes in a strange way. Carbon dating indicated that the parchment was created between 1404 and 1438, which was during the early Renaissance period. However, the writing on the parchment did not resemble any known language or code, including Latin, Greek, or any other established system. It was referred to as Voynichese, after the man who originally discovered it.
Voynich didn't write this manuscript, he found it, but we know it's much older. It's 600 years, and it's amazing.
For more than 100 years, experts in linguistics, history, and code breaking attempted to decipher the text. They analyzed the frequency of words, the repetition of letters, and looked for recognizable patterns. While the writing followed the rules of a real language, no one was able to translate it. Some people thought it was fake, while others believed it was a language that was not known. Some even thought it was created by a secretive group.
Hundreds of years old, and they have no fucking idea what it says. They don't know the language. They don't know anything about it. They don't know if it's just nonsense, if some guy was just practicing scribble, but it's like really long.
However, every idea was proven wrong. The pictures did not provide any clues. The plants resembled actual herbs, but they were altered, combined, and peculiar. botanists were unable to identify them. It's possible they were intentionally distorted or drawn from memory or imagination. The star maps were very strange, with moons, suns, and zodiac signs arranged in confusing patterns. The symbols were sometimes wrong. The charts also depicted women bathing, standing in tubs, and moving through unusual pipes. It was a mystery why these images were included, and their significance was unknown. The text was always the same. There were specific letters that consistently appeared before others. Some sections resembled words with beginnings and endings. It had structure, cadence, and cohesion. Yet it made no sense to anyone. The book continued to remain mute, with no identifiable author, title, or solution. It seemed like it desired to be read, but only by someone unfamiliar with life. But how come no human mind could understand this book? Keep on watching to find out more. The book that outsmarted the world. Before computers and artificial intelligence attempted to unravel ancient mysteries, the Voynich Manuscript had already confounded the best code breakers in the world. Since the early 1900s, intelligent individuals analyzed it in the hopes of discovering a pattern or clue. But the manuscript remained mysterious. Its peculiar writing, consisting of intricate swirls and loops, did not resemble any known language or code. It lacked a deciphering key, recognizable symbols, or a clear message. Even during World War II, when skilled code breakers from the United States and Britain successfully decoded secret messages, the Voynich text remained inscrutable. Some people thought it was a hoax, designed to trick collectors or attract attention.
And it's very divided. Like, some people believe it's a hoax, and some people believe that it's some fucking lost language, and some people think that it's glossolalia, like when someone talks in tongues.
However, there were others who were not convinced. During the 1940s and 50s, experts attempted to link the script to various languages such as Latin, Italian, Chinese, Arabic, and shorthand. Some speculated that it was produced by someone in a trance, composing a language from their subconscious. Another idea suggested it was crafted by a solitary monk as a unique encyclopedia from his own creativity. Still, there was no concrete evidence to support any of these theories. The drawings were not useful. Some of the plants depicted were not real, with flowers growing from stars and roots resembling people. Researchers attempted to identify them using old herb books, but found that most did not match. As time passed, more outlandish theories arose. Some thought the manuscript contained ancient magical secrets, while others speculated that it was written by a secretive group guarding their knowledge. A few even suggested that aliens were involved. One thing was obvious: the manuscript was not just random, it had organization. There were more than 170,000 symbols, set in patterns that followed real language rules. The words were average length, the sentences read smoothly like speech, and certain phrases showed up repeatedly in natural rhythms. If it was a hoax, it was extremely well done. The person who wrote it might have spent years making it without receiving any reward, money, or fame. By the 2000s, the manuscript was made available on the internet. Researchers were optimistic that using contemporary technology would help uncover its mysteries. However, computers required some hints to decipher the manuscript, similar to humans. The advanced systems couldn't progress without understanding the meaning of the symbols or the language they belonged to. The endless hunt for meaning. Ever since it reappeared in 1912, the Voynich Manuscript has captivated scholars, scientists, and enthusiasts who have spent a century trying to unravel its secrets.
We have in front of us Voynich Manuscript, which is one of the most mysterious books in the world because no one actually knows what's inside.
Its puzzling text and unusual illustrations have led to many failed attempts at translation by those eager to crack its code. One of the pioneers in this field was William Romain Newbold in 1921. He thought the true message was not in the letters that were visible, but in tiny marks that could only be seen under a microscope. Newbold believed these marks were ancient Greek shorthand, uncovering scientific knowledge far beyond their time, like microscopes and galaxies. However, his theory was proven to be incorrect. Another researcher demonstrated that these marks were simply cracks in the ink and not secret codes. Newbold's methodology allowed him to manipulate and interpret the texts in any way he pleased, enabling him to come up with any interpretation he desired. In 1943, Joseph Martin Feely said that Roger Bacon wrote the book using a short-coded Latin. Shortly after, Lionel C. Strong, a cancer researcher, suggested that the author was Anthony Ascom and used a double-coded system with math-based guesses. However, like many others, his findings were unclear and his language seemed too personal. In 1978, Yale professor Robert Brumbaugh suggested that the artifact was a fake intended to impress an emperor. Around the same time, John Stoyko proposed that it was written in a language without vowels, specifically Ukrainian. Although these theories generated interest, they were not considered plausible by experts. Over time, the mystery continued to increase. In 2014, a linguistics professor named Stephen Bax claimed to have been able to identify a few words and symbols by applying a similar approach used for decoding Egyptian writing. However, he passed away before making any further progress. In 2017, Greg Kondrak and Bradley Hauer suggested that the language might be Hebrew, but in a scrambled alphabetical order, based on their computer models. Despite their findings, they acknowledged that experts remained skeptical. In the same year, a TV writer named Nicholas Gibbs said that the Voynich Manuscript was a medieval women's health guide written in abbreviated Latin. However, scholars disagreed with this theory, stating that it was based on speculation rather than concrete evidence. In 2018, an engineer named Ahmed Ardech from Canada stated that the book was written in Old Turkic using phonetics. He and his sons broke down the text by identifying the roots and suffixes and even connected words to visual images. They claim to have grasped 30% of the content. However, his research findings were turned down when submitted to a journal. In 2019, Gerard Cheshire claimed he deciphered a mysterious manuscript in just 2 weeks. He believed the manuscript was a guide on health and astrology, written in an early Romance language by Dominican nuns for a queen. In 2023, he released a translation of a part of the manuscript showing a volcano near an Italian island. However, experts criticized his approach as too speculative, starting with assumptions and then looking for words to fit. The University of Bristol, where he was employed, disassociated itself from his findings. In every effort made to solve the mystery, a consistent pattern emerges. Every individual thought they were making progress. Every idea had some evidence to back it up. However, none of them could withstand thorough examination. None of them could fully unravel the secrets of the book. The mystery continues to baffle everyone who tries to solve it. The Voynich Manuscript has fascinated people for many years, but its mysterious alphabet, unusual illustrations of plants, and blank pages keep its secrets hidden in a language that remains a mystery to all who have tried to decode it. But the secret did not stay hidden forever, because AI uncovered what no human ever could. When the code started to whisper. In the mid-2010s, people had been trying to decode the Voynich Manuscript for over 100 years without success. However, there was a new development. Machine learning technology was advancing rapidly, making powerful tools for analyzing language and patterns more accessible. Artificial intelligence was now being used, and there was hope that significant progress could finally be made. In 2017, Professor Greg Kondrak and his student Bradley Hauer from the University of Alberta made a significant effort. They did not view the manuscript as a puzzle, but as a lost language. Their system, which was trained on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in more than 400 languages, compared samples from the Voynich Manuscript to others in the database. Surprisingly, it seemed to point towards Hebrew, although not directly. According to their model, the manuscript may contain Hebrew words that were scrambled alphabetically within each word. This bold theory suggested that there might be a second layer of coding. They provided some original translations, but they acknowledged that this was just the start. While AI could provide hints, humans still needed to do the actual work. In 2023, two linguists named Claire Bauer and Luke Lindemann took a different approach. Instead of reading the text line by line, they looked at the overall picture. They studied the consistency of symbols in sequence using a method called second-order conditional entropy. They compared the structure of the manuscript to known languages like Latin, Greek, and Chinese. Surprisingly, the closest match was Khojki, a script from South Asia that had been forgotten. While this did not prove the manuscript was written in Khojki, it did show that it displayed characteristics of a real language. The arrangement of letters wasn't random. There were patterns, rhythm, and logic present. Simultaneously, hobbyists and technology enthusiasts got involved in the search. They started utilizing AI models based on transformers, similar to the ones used in modern chatbots. These models did more than just identify patterns. They tried to find meaning. Some researchers concentrated on the plant drawings. If certain symbols consistently appeared next to specific plant images, they speculated that they might represent names or descriptions. The AI models started connecting repeated glyphs with certain illustrations. Some groupings resembled sounds found in languages like Semitic and Indic. While not definitive, it was not merely a guess either. These models did not provide a clear answer to the manuscript, but they revealed connections that were previously unseen. The text was no longer a mystery, as it now had structure, grammar, and purpose. Progress was being made in understanding the manuscript, even though it had not been completely deciphered yet. There are rumors that a team working with advanced models and symbolic AI has discovered something unexpected. The silence is starting to fade, and the manuscript may be prepared to reveal its secrets. So what exactly was this centuries-old manuscript hiding? What the AI revealed will truly shock you. What the manuscript was hiding. For over a century, the Voynich Manuscript has intrigued people as a mysterious puzzle rather than something to be feared. The ancient book is known for its unusual illustrations, mysterious texts, and intricate symbols. Researchers from various fields have attempted to decipher its meaning, seeing it as a challenging mystery. However, attitudes towards the manuscript are beginning to shift. In recent times, a group of researchers quietly delved into a manuscript with a new approach. These researchers were not your typical code breakers. They used advanced technology such as neural symbolic AI, sophisticated language models, and image tagging to analyze the text in a groundbreaking way. Instead of just recognizing patterns, their models were designed to comprehend meaning. They went beyond simple letter frequency analysis by considering context, language evolution, and even visual associations. The researchers trained their AI using languages like Hebrew, Aramaic, and lesser-known dialects such as Khojki. They also labeled images of various subjects like plants, stars, and the famous bathing women portrayed in the manuscript. Initially, the AI was giving out innocent words such as purify, bleed, and prepare. However, more disturbing patterns emerged soon after. There were consistent clusters of glyphs related to plant diagrams and moon phases that were translating to words like vessel, flesh, return, and sacrifice. These words kept appearing repeatedly, linked to various pages and images. One team member expressed fear at the regularity of these occurrences, believing it was not random but intentional. Some images that were previously viewed as having healing or astrological significance began to have a different interpretation. Female figures were depicted holding sharp objects, surrounded by shapes resembling thorns, and standing in pools of dark liquid. The AI associated these images with phrases like, "She becomes the gate," and "cut to prepare the rising." Instead of providing a direct translation, the AI generated a powerful semantic map that revealed the probable meanings of different parts of the book. As the team continued to investigate, the tone of the situation changed. The seemingly herbal instructions now appeared to be ritual directions. The zodiac wheels could potentially be used as calendars for ceremonies. The baths were not meant for healing, but possibly part of a much more ancient and mysterious process. A disturbing phrase about flesh returning to the vessel kept reappearing. The researchers did not release a complete research paper. Some people speculate that they were unsure about their next steps. The results were not conclusive, and even the AI's predictions were limited without human context. However, rumors started spreading, leading to a new theory online. Perhaps the manuscript was not just strange, but also hiding something ancient, organized, and significant. It was not thought to be a hoax or fantasy, but rather a documentation of rituals that were never meant to be comprehended. The accuracy of these translations is still uncertain. What AI did was identify patterns that we overlooked. This led to the discovery of new insights from centuries-old texts. People are now examining these findings from a fresh perspective and questioning fundamental beliefs. What if the Voynich Manuscript was never intended to be solved? The manuscript that refused to stay silent. The hype around the AI finding is not dying down. In fact, it is getting more intense. Various platforms like online forums, lengthy articles, and academic discussions are buzzing with inquiries, debates, and hypotheses. While some individuals are thrilled about it, others are skeptical, and some are observing quietly. However, amidst all the commotion, one significant fact remains unchanged. The Voynich Manuscript has yet to be completely deciphered. There is no official interpretation available. No reputable scientific organization has endorsed the AI's findings.
And you take books and you prepare something which is a scientific copy of a manuscript.
The team responsible for the leaked information has not disclosed much, and a major portion of their work is still undisclosed. So what do we know? The writing in the manuscript resembles a real language. Researchers have been analyzing its organization for a long time. The symbols are repeated in a way that makes sense. They adhere to specific rules, similar to languages we know. The manuscript displays consistent patterns, rhythmic flow, and balanced sentence structure. This evidence challenges the idea that the manuscript is meaningless or a practical joke. It may be unusual, but it is not haphazard. In the last 10 years, scientists have used computers to analyze it further. First experiments in 2017 employed simple math and word-counting software. Recent research has utilized advanced AI algorithms to analyze the underlying structure of languages. These studies revealed similarities between the manuscript's writing and Semitic languages such as Hebrew and Aramaic, as well as a now extinct dialect known as Kojki. These findings are not mere speculation, but are based on the frequency of certain symbols, the arrangement of letters, and the flow of the script on the page. Later, more mysterious findings emerged. A newer form of artificial intelligence, similar to the one used in today's translation apps, was trained on uncommon languages and presented with images and text from the manuscript. This AI did not just analyze words, it aimed to comprehend their meanings within the given context. When it studied images depicting women, stars, and unusual pools, it started connecting certain symbols with words such as return, vessel, cut, and flow. While these words may seem medical on their own, when they were paired with phrases about moons, gates, and offerings, some researchers began to perceive a more ritualistic significance in the text. None of this has been officially verified. The AI's findings have not undergone peer review. However, they are sufficiently thorough to spark conversations among people. Some of the translations are disconcerting. According to reports, a group halted their work when certain phrases started repeating themselves, phrases that the AI was not instructed to search for. One of the phrases was, "She returns with the moon," while another was, "The offering is taken in silence." The significance of these phrases is uncertain. They could be artistic, random, or completely inaccurate. Nonetheless, they had a tangible impact, prompting new questions that had not previously been considered. We still have a lot of unknowns. The origin of the manuscript and the identity of its creators remain a mystery. It's unclear whether monks, doctors, or mystics wrote it. Was it meant to be a secretive teaching or a warning, or perhaps it was just a dream? Without understanding the context, any translation is just speculation. The drawings also add to the confusion. Are the women depicted in green water actual individuals or symbolic of healing, or do they represent something else entirely? We are unsure of the reliability of the AI. While these models are strong, they require high-quality data to function effectively. Typically, they learn from numerous examples in different languages. However, since there are no translations for the Voynich text, the AI can only make educated guesses based on patterns. However, there has been a shift. The focus of the discussion has changed. It's not just about whether the manuscript is legible anymore. Now the question is whether it should be read at all. And do we have the readiness to handle whatever it may reveal? The future is uncertain. There will be further testing, discussions, and investigations. However, there is a growing realization that the manuscript may not have straightforward solutions. Artificial intelligence has revealed some insights, but the full picture remains unclear. We have uncovered something new, but what lies ahead is mysterious and unknown. Despite the discovery, questions still surround the true author of the book. But does that change what we've already learned? The mystery behind the pen. The experts have been puzzled by the mysterious Voynich manuscript for more than 100 years. What makes it even more intriguing is that nobody knows who the author is. Numerous names have been put forward as possible authors, but none have been confirmed. One of the earliest theories suggested that Roger Bacon, a Franciscan friar from the 13th century known for his knowledge of science and languages, could have been the author. A letter from the mid-1600s mentioned that the manuscript was once in the possession of Rudolph II, the Holy Roman Emperor. It was rumored that he acquired it for a large sum of gold, convinced that it contained valuable secrets. Raphael Moniszewski passed down this story and thought that Bacon was the author of the book. Wilfrid Voynich, who found the manuscript in 1912, also believed this theory. Voynich thought that John Dee, an English scholar and astrologer, sold the book to Rudolph. Dee and his partner Edward Kelly traveled throughout Europe and had connections to ancient texts, possibly written by Bacon. However, there was an issue with this idea. Dee wrote in his diaries extensively, but he never talked about the manuscript. This caused suspicion. If Bacon did not write it, then Dee's part in the manuscript's creation was uncertain. Some people even speculated that Dee or Kelly might have produced the manuscript on their own, possibly aiming to profit by claiming it was a lost work by Bacon. One theory suggests that Voynich may have created the manuscript himself, as he was a rare book dealer with the ability to make a realistic forgery. However, carbon dating conducted in 1999 revealed that the parchment used in the pages dates back to the early 1400s, making it unlikely to be a recent fake. Additionally, the pages seem to be consistent in time and origin, which would be hard to replicate accurately. Giovanni Fontana, an Italian engineer and cryptographer from the 15th century, had connections to the Voynich Manuscript. Some of his drawings resembled those in the Voynich Manuscript, and he incorporated secret codes in his writings. However, his writing style was distinct and did not include the same mysterious script found in the Voynich book. Another hint found was a slightly visible name on the first page, Jacob Tepenetz. This man, also known as Jacobus Sinapius, was employed by Rudolph II to maintain his gardens and medicinal plants. Some researchers believe he may have been the previous owner of the manuscript. However, the signature does not match other known examples, raising the possibility that it was added at a later time, potentially even by Voynich. Barish's letter is another mystery surrounding the Voynich manuscript. Some believe it was a hoax intended to deceive scholars, similar to a trick played on the famous scholar Athanasius Kircher in the past. Kircher was once tricked by a fake text from an Orientalist, leading some to question if the Voynich manuscript was also meant to confuse or test scholars. Raphael Menischowski, who shared the Bacon story, was also a cryptographer. He said he came up with a code that nobody could crack. Some think he made the manuscript to impress people with his skills, maybe using Barish as a way to see if anyone could figure it out. Another idea proposes that the writer could have been Antonio Averlino, an architect from northern Italy who lived in the 5th century. This aligns with the time period of the parchment. At last, a team of experts proposed that the book originated from Mexico in the 1500s, citing plant illustrations and maps found within. After many years, we still do not know who wrote the Voynich manuscript. However, each possible explanation makes the mystery more intriguing and ensures that interest in the manuscript continues. Whispers through the code. For more than 5 centuries, the Voynich manuscript has been known as one of the most puzzling books ever written. It contains unusual drawings of unfamiliar plants, strange symbols, and naked individuals bathing in peculiar green pools. The manuscript has been stored in libraries and museums without anyone being able to comprehend its meaning or translate it. Despite the best attempts of codebreakers, historians, and language specialists, the true significance of the manuscript has remained a mystery. Its secrets have been hidden from the public eye for a long time, until recently. Thanks to artificial intelligence, a new opportunity has arisen. AI can analyze patterns faster and more thoroughly than humans, allowing it to study the manuscript in ways never before possible. AI did not just look at the symbols, but also analyze the rhythm, structure, and repetition of the text. Surprisingly, it discovered that the writing wasn't random or a prank. It was intentional and potentially held a deeper meaning than previously thought. Some people believe that the manuscript may have spiritual ideas or ancient rituals. Others argue that it was not intended for regular readers to comprehend. However, regardless of its precise meaning, one thing is evident. The book was not haphazardly created. It was meticulously crafted with a specific purpose in mind. This discovery is groundbreaking. If artificial intelligence can uncover hidden messages in ancient texts, like the Voynich manuscript, what else could it potentially reveal? There may be countless other unread books from the past just waiting to be deciphered. Forgotten scrolls, lost languages, and secret writings. Could they all be decoded with the help of advanced technology? We are now closer than ever to understanding the message, but the real question is, are we prepared to know the answer? If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.